Good morning, everyone. Through the mud yoga here. Just riffing, always just riffing. I could see at one point this becoming a little more formal. Started to write out some, maybe the start of what I might call my meditation, my healing program, things like that. But everything is a slow process, and I do realize that I am only about 3 to 4 years into my journey of the awakening, finding my truth, finding that there is a greater truth than the Maya, the illusion of the world that not only was taught to me, but is out there. And I think this is a time where some people will reflect on that. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing amidst a lot of pain. And I don't know if this is a blessing or a curse, but pain's been my life, and it's not been the entirety of my life, but was always just pain, just a deep part of me that was in pain until a few years ago, until I acknowledged the root of that pain in my personal lifetime, and then was also able to bridge the gap and start to explore the existential pains of life. But there's always beauty, and I think I dropped that video, about the birds to say, like, those little moments, those are what matters in your life. Those little moments, Maybe you think someone's crazy because they have those moments. Yeah, it wasn't a fancy promotion, I didn't get an award, I didn't, make $1 million. And I remember sometimes that was what I wanted out of it. That even now, sometimes when I give these little talks or just sit in front of a camera, I know that the ego, a part of me wants that success. But that's part of the Maya and the illusion. I want true success. I just want to be happy. And I just want to be loved. And I just want to be able to love. And that'll make me a complete person. But we're all going to struggle. And I know going forward, there's some serious uncertainty over everyone's physical, mental health, societal health, etc., etc. And I'm not going to go into that. But I had a beautiful, beautiful moment yesterday. And I'm going to share you that experience and then maybe give some thoughts on some of my concerns. Some of my concerns maybe going forward that were already present, and some maybe existential questions to be asked that I'm asking myself. I take a walk yesterday. I've been trying to walk a little bit. I'm definitely following the guidelines roughly. And I'm noticing sometimes when you walk, people kind of can scutter to the other side of the street and, whatever. Social distancing is important. I'm not going to say it isn't. But I do think there's also, we do that for health reasons, right? There's also emotional health. There's also mental health. And I think it's okay to say that sometimes that irks me the wrong way now that I'm walking out in the world and humans are afraid of other humans. But I think unfortunately, it's a sign of the times. It's been developing this way to live in that fear-based world. And I don't know the solution. I don't, and I don't want to say to anyone to avoid it, but I had such a beautiful, beautiful experience when I was walking. It was someone else, a few blocks up, and we were just both walking the other way, and I could see her coming. And I was walking, and we were on either sides of the street. I'm not, it's obviously social distancing, but maybe it wasn't that 6 feet, maybe not that 20 feet, right? Neither of us were wearing masks. And sure, I'm aware of the consequences, but I'm not afraid of death. But we smiled at each other, and she smiled at me. She said, "Hello, how are you?" And I smiled back, said, "How are you?" And we walked, kept walking. We didn't even stop. And that was it. Nothing more, nothing less. It was beautiful. Human contact is beautiful. And I especially want to talk, maybe I'm talking a little bit too, to the people who are alone. We need that. I need that. I don't have anyone around me right now. As I said, I have a few phone calls, a few connections, and, but that moment of just genuine in-person human contact was so powerful. And I think kind of humanity, not just with this crisis, but before this crisis, has lost that, right? We're stuck behind computers. We're engaging in these formats like this, which is great, especially now. It is a tool, but how do you use that tool is the question. And I am concerned coming out of this, we will lose a lot of that true nature, right? And the Maya, the illusion, is going to drive us into a state where we are further isolating and further spending more time on technology, further becoming afraid of those around us. And that's not a good thing. I don't know if, I'm just kind of questioning this, what's it worth here? And I think quarantining and all this stuff is very important right now. But there will come a point where that is not feasible. And we'll need to step out into the world as humans and not live in fear of some of the realities of our world. And it's tough because whether or not it was us who created this, it was us who created this. That's the truth. Humanity. And it's been very easy, especially in an affluent town like mine, right in Boston. It's very easy to forget. It's very easy to not see the interconnected nature of it because we benefited so much. And I'm really concerned for humanity. I think there's going to be people like myself who pull back pretty much and just completely dive into themselves and dive into the spirituality and practice. And that's something I've been doing for maybe the last few years. And maybe I need to keep on that path. But I'm concerned because I think we need to realize that life is meant to be lived a certain way, right? Do we really want to head towards a future where we isolate, we don't contact? Sure, it'll be great for the economy, right? We can all work and grind and do all that, but for what? Are we really human then? Is this what was meant for our species? Probably not. But I think some of the tougher things going on right now is, sorry humans, sorry, the world's overpopulated, you're destroying the earth, you treated each other like shit for probably a few thousand years, probably longer, right? Look at our priorities: more money, modern luxury, fancy jobs, booming economies, all these things. We want to reap the benefits of them, but we don't want to acknowledge the other side. Yoga. And you know what? I'll grab the... One sec. I read from the sutras, the Yoga Sutras. The restraint of the modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. Which modification of the mind are you living in? When is it time to restrain that modification of the mind? And that is where I give to you humanity. The modifications of the mind that we need now are probably not the ones that are most readily apparent, they're most readily talked about. When do we need to restrain those modifications of the mind and start using other modifications of the mind? And that is the delicate dance we face